Right now I'm playing WalkScape. Rockscape is just like RuneScape, except instead of sitting at the computer grinding for hours, you progress in the game by taking steps in real life. So as you can see right now in game, I'm smithing. I'm combining ores together to make bars. Right there it says steps to craft. That's how many steps I have to take in real life to craft one bar. As you can see, this particular action takes 72 steps. You can do all sorts of activities in this game, from mining to smithing. Combat is coming soon. And there's all sorts of activities. There's cooking, there's wood cutting. There's a whole bunch of activities and skills, which you can actually see all listed here. But the caveat to this game is everything you do in this game is only done through real world steps. Right now I have my game open because, well, I've got my phone and my camera out and I'm walking, but you don't have to. You can leave the game closed and in your pocket, and then when you open it, it will take all the steps you've taken since you've done the game, and it will apply it as progress to whatever skill you're doing. So right now, what I wanted to talk about in this video, as I walk through this forest, is trading. So trading is a planned feature of this game. They've talked about two forms of trading. They've talked about kind of like the grand exchange type of trading like you'd see in RuneScape, where you can list your items in a merchant, list your prices, and other people can come along and see if they like your prices and whether they want to buy the goods from you or not. That's one form of trading. The other form of trading that they are considering adding to the game is direct trading, where, say for example, I've communicated with someone, they've got something I want, or maybe I want to buy something from them, and then we do the exchange, and it's direct from player to player. I want to talk about both kinds of trading today, and why each particular type of trading I think is really exciting and breathes massive life into the game. So the first kind of trading I want to talk about is direct trading. So for example, in this game, I play the role of a miner and a smither. I'll show you my skills here. I'm a level 90 miner, as you can see right here. I do play competitively. I'm on the leaderboard. I happen to be the #1 miner in the game at the moment. There are other people sneaking up on me, so I don't know if I'll hold that spot for long because I am diversifying and doing smithing. But this is, as I've mentioned, an MMO. You are competing with other people. You will be trading with other people. There will be group combat. It's fantastic. So as I'm showing you here, I am making bars right now out of the ores that I have mined. Then I can take those bars and I can make swords, I can make shields, or I can combine them together with wood and make planks, and I can put the bars and the planks together and I can make tools. So if you look at my character here, I've got a bunch of gear, but I've also got tools. At the very top for smithing, you can see a hammer. Now that particular hammer came from a chest, there is a huge desire for players, eventually once it's added, to collaborate, right? You can specialize as a miner, you can sell your goods, you can get money, you can buy goods of other people. So I'm very, very excited for when they add direct player trading, because it will allow me to better play the role of a miner smith. I can sell it, I can get personal wealth, I can then buy the resources I need off the market from other players and make more things. And so for that reason, I think it'll be very fantastic. I also think it'll be fantastic for players to trade. There are lots of rare drops in this game. And what happens if you get a rare drop for a skill that you're not particularly focused on? But then your friend has something that dropped that you are, and you guys do a swap. So that adds a whole bunch of really unique social opportunities. Now before I continue, I just want to look at my game here. So I have finished smithing most of my ores into bars. And so I'm actually going to travel back to the capital here, which is Kalahheim. And there we go. I've got 320 steps left. Now I've also got something at the bottom called save steps. And that's kind of when you're playing the game and you're not doing any activity, but you log in. When it imports all your steps, if you're not doing anything, it gives you save steps. And what save steps are is for however many save steps you have, it will use those save steps to make whatever you're doing, for example, this 7,300 steps I got here, it will make it worth double. So it will do the action twice, give you double the rewards, double the XP. And they've done that so the game isn't super micromanaging. You can kind of let the game complete tasks, save up save steps, and then go cash them in. So I am traveling to the capital. As you can see, this is kind of the starter province here. And there's lots of interesting activities to do. There's other beautiful activities, other beautiful areas in the game. And this is all going to be fleshed out as they continue to develop the game. And they're moving along at a pretty good pace right now as far as content goes. So back to trading. I am very excited to trade some of my rare resources with other people, form kind of like trade alliances. Like when I'm mining, there's a really rare resource called fine materials, which is like, originally it's like a 0.5% chance to get it on gathering. And then those rare materials are worth a lot and they have a really high chance of producing high quality materials. So I'm really excited for when direct trading comes, because I'm hoping to team up with some woodcutters and we can trade some fine materials back and forth and see if we can produce some of the rarest material in the game, the rarest tools in the game, some eternal quality gear, which is very rare, but it's made less rare by using fine materials. So that's kind of direct trading. Then there's going to be a player marketplace. Now what's nice about a player marketplace is for those people that don't want to wheel and deal, maybe they don't have the prior relationships to establish trade partnerships with people. What's nice about a grand exchange is you can keep it simple. Say you have 50 logs to sell, go onto the market, list it, and wait for someone else to buy it. So that's a very simple way to do it. Now I've played other RuneScape-esque games, particularly in the idle genre. And I've seen other marketplaces, and there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of things you want to consider when you're developing a marketplace. Like one thing you want to consider is, do I put tax in? Because I was playing another a browser-based RuneScape idle game, and they didn't have a tax. And what happened is people would do tons of flipping. So like really wealthy players would buy like for example, all the coal in the game and then relist it higher and try and make a profit. But it made the market really dodgy. It made it really kind of sporadic and kind of crazy. And so what they did is they added a tax so that every time you sold a good, I think it was a certain percent, I think it might have been 5%, you lost 5%, you only got 95% of what you sold it for. And so what it meant is if people did want to flip, they could, but they would have to make sure they're getting a good enough deal that they could flip it quite a bit higher to pay that tax and still make profit. So that's one of the interesting things from an exchange. The other thing that's interesting about an exchange market is you could potentially do buy orders. So buy orders are, say for example, I really want to buy a rare pick. Say I want to buy a perfect or eternal quality pick in, let's say it's Tarsilium. I could go into the market and I could create a buy order saying, I want to buy an eternal Tarsilium pick and I want to pay 1 million money for it. And then other people could come along, they could say, well, I just made one. I would love to get 1 million of Eric's money. And so I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna sell it. And I think what's nice about that is it kind of creates this opportunity for people to do impulse buys. You know, it's fun. It's fun. It really creates the opportunity to create excitement and, you know, like who doesn't love walking into a technology store and buying some new piece of equipment in real life? Who doesn't love waiting for the newest product to come out? Who doesn't love logging into their favorite game and buying something really shiny off the player's store? It's a fun experience. And so having that in an MMO where your resources and your wealth are gathered based off of your real world steps, I think that's going to be a highly satisfying experience to say, this wasn't just me clicking a mouse at a computer. this was me walking and getting those steps in. So I think the Grand Exchange will be very neat in that regard. If I had to pick one to have first, obviously it's not my choice, I would probably go for player trading, because I just think it's the sweetest situation to be able to actually like message someone on Discord and be like, hey, let's work out a deal. Let's form some kind of cooperative thing. I think that's much more satisfying to me than a Grand Exchange. But I also recognize that not all players play quite in that manner, that they're looking for that social interaction around every corner. So I can see why they definitely may want to do the Grand Exchange first. But I did an interview with the lead developer, Shampoo, and I asked him about that and when it would be coming out. And he said later, but it would definitely need tons of testing to make sure there are no glitches, no errors, no issues with it. Because the last thing you would want is for there to be like some kind of duplication or wealth issue where like people can scam it or tweak it in some way. So they got to get that figured out. So I'm gonna look back at my game here. So I've arrived back at the Capitol. I'm going into my bank here. Okay, I'm going to deposit what I made. So I made 245 Fargonite bars. That took me about 14,000 steps. Now I'm gonna go back and make some more bars. So I need to grab some more coal. So this month is, well, it's August 2024. There is a challenge that Flower Sifter, one of the devs, has put out. And you can kind of choose like a monthly challenge you want to make for yourself of total steps you want to do. So there's like 250,000, 500,000, 750,000, and 1 million. So I've taken on the challenge of trying to do 1 million steps in the month. And it just so happens that I have about that much coal and Fargonite to make into bars. So I'm gonna spend the month processing about 1 million steps worth of coal. So I've got about 30,000 left. I'll grab about as much as I can fit in one ride, which is 575. And then I'll grab my Fargonite. I'll grab 200 of that. Okay, and I have just as much as I can carry. And now I'm gonna run back to Winter Waves Glacier. And I'm gonna head back there, right? And it's another 1,300 steps. Now my ring of homesickness is on cooldown right now. Ring of homesickness is a ring you can get that every 12 hours you can teleport back to Kalaheim without taking steps. So in my situation, that's about 13 minutes of stepping. So that's getting saved right there. Unfortunately, it's on cooldown, so I'll have to use it the next time I do a trip. But here we are, and it's showing you the pathing. It's going back to Winter Waves Glacier. And I've got 1.2K steps left till I get there. So I am so excited for the social interactions that will happen with trading. I am so excited to see which people decide to focus on economy and focus on becoming merchants. I'm really excited about the idea once trading comes out to try to find my niche. Maybe I'll just focus on mining and sell mining ores and try and get a profit out of that. Or maybe I will focus on buying ores once I've used all mine up, and I will focus on making bars and seeing if I can make some high rarity tools, maybe some eternal stuff. I am processing Fargonite right now because I am hoping that in a further expansion, Fargonite tools will come out, and then I'll have all the bars ready. So anyhow, thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for hearing me ramble about player trading and how I think it will make the game that much more in depth and that much more interesting. And I shall see you soon.